this video, we'll be discussing an article titled Capital Budget in Serbian SMEs. Small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs, played a crucial role in economic growth, employment creation, and business innovation. This article looks at how small and medium-sized enterprises in Serbia make their investment decisions in practice. So, the study is based on a survey conducted with chief financial officers from 30 Serbian companies across different industries. It aims to find out which capital budgeting techniques that are most commonly used and how these companies calculate their cost of capital. The article reveals that most SMEs prefer using simple methods, especially the payback period, rather than more advanced techniques like net present value or internal rate of return. It also highlights the challenges such as limited financial knowledge and inefficient capital market. Through this article, we can better understand the gap between financial theory and real-world business practices, especially in small and medium-sized businesses.
Thank you, Shaif. Now I want to talk about methodology. The researchers wanted to learn how small, medium and micro companies in Serbia make investment decisions and calculate their cost of capital. And how they do it. The first one, they will create a survey. They design a questionnaire based on a well-known as US or Canada survey. And this paper only look at the first part of the survey about capital budgeting technique and cost of capital. And the second one is survey question. Ask how often companies use different methods to evaluate their project like NPV, payback period, and etc. They use a scale from 1 to 5. 1 indicate to never and number 5 indicate to always. They also ask if companies have an investment policy to make business plan and adjust for risk. And the third one, send out the survey. First, they had financial expert review the questionnaire. Then, they mailed it to Chief Financial Officer, that's CFO, to the 30 company in Serbia. And the company consists 30. There is 30 companies, consists of 13 micro, 8 small, and 10 medium. There are also mix of industry like manufacturing, retail, tourism, IT, and etc. And number 5, they analyze the data. They use SPSS, that is statistic program, to analyze the responses, and the results are shown in the chart and explained in the next section.
Thank you, Ilham. Now we're going to the result. This section presents the result of analysis conducted in the study. The analysis focused on testing the first hypothesis, which state the micro, small and medium-sized enterprise (MSMEs) in Serbia mainly use the payback periods as their primary investment evaluation method. The study examined the capital budgeting techniques most commonly used by the SME in Serbia. The questionnaire included 7 techniques: net present value (NPV), internal rate return (IRR), profitability index (PI), payback period (PP), accounting rate of return (ARR), discounted payback period (DPP), and sensitivity analysis (SA). Respondents were asked to rate how often they use each method. The results showed that the payback period was the most frequently used technique, with an average user range 98.8% across all company size. In addition, 58% of the company frequently use the profitability index, while 42% use the net present value when evaluating investment project. Interviewers conducted after questionnaire revealed that discounted cash flow methods such as NPV and IRR were used less often because companies found it difficult to determine an appropriate discount rate. This difficulty is mainly due to Serbia's inefficient capital market, which make it hard to estimate expected return for investment which similar risk level. As a result, companies prefer the payback period, as it does not require discount rate calculation or consideration of the time value of money. Some respondents also mentioned that limited financial knowledge among business owners and small portfolio size reduced the use of more advanced investment evaluation methods. Overall, the finding confirmed that small companies in Serbia rely mostly on the payback period for investment decision, thereby supporting the first hypothesis of the study.
Now, we are going to talk about the percentage of CFOs who always use the given method in this chart. The analysis shows that micro, small and medium-sized companies in Serbia predominantly determine their cost of capital using historical returns on investment, confirming the second hypothesis of the study. This method is the most frequently applied across all firm sizes with an average usage of 32% and is particularly favored by medium-sized companies where 60% of the respondents reported frequent or consistent use. The second most commonly used approach in determining the cost of capital based on regulatory decision, while the application of the capital asset pricing model (CAPM) is remain limited with an average usage of only 8%, and the low adoption of CAPM is mainly attributed to the inefficiency and illiquidity of the Serbian capital market, difficulties in beta for predominantly private firms, and a general lack of knowledge regarding advanced financial concepts. Although many companies report having defined investment policies, business plan, and cash flow projection, the absence of an accurately calculated cost of capital undermines effective investment decision-making and increases the risk of accepting unprofitable projects, especially under conditions of economic instability.
This study examines the capital budgeting practice and the cost of capital determination method used by small, medium size and micro enterprise in Serbia. Given the crucial role of the SMEs in economic growth, employment generation and Serbian EU integration process, understanding their investment decision-making process is of the significant importance. The finding indicate that the payback period is the most frequently used capital budgeting technique among Serbian SMEs. Its dominance reflects firm preference of a simple, equity-focused method that do not require complex calculation or real-by capital market data. In contrast, more sophisticated discount cash flow techniques such as net present value (NPV) and internal rate of return (IRR) are used less frequently, mainly due to difficulties in estimating appropriate discount rate, limited financial appetite, and the inefficiency of the Serbian capital market. Furthermore, the study confirmed that SMEs in Serbia most commonly determine their cost of capital based on historical return investment rather than theoretical models such as the capital asset pricing model (CAPM). This approach, while practical, may not adequately capture investment risk and could lead to suboptimal investment decisions, particularly in periods of economic uncertainty. Overall, the results highlight a persistent gap between financial theory and practice in Serbian SMEs. To bridge this gap, improvements are needed in financial education, managerial training, and institutional support. Additionally, strengthening the efficiency and transparency of the financial market would enable wider adoption of advanced capital budget technique. Hence, this area could contribute more sustainable investment decision, improve firm performance, and ultimately stronger economic growth in Serbia.
Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you.
Based on the answer above at C, Techno Engineering Sdn Bhd should buy the new machine because the net present value is a positive. Internal rate of return is higher than cost of capital, and payback period is lower than desired payback period.
And every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we